Amunka, are you ready? It's time for your close-up. Hi everyone, hi, I'm here, and welcome back to another episode of Myths and Monsters. This week we're diving into ancient Egypt and unearthing a tale that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about vampires. Join me as I take you on a journey through history where pharaohs, priests, and maybe even blood-sucking creatures roam the legendary streets of Cairo. Let's get into it. All right, let's set the stage. Imagine this. It's ancient Egypt, thousands of years ago, when the pharaohs were the rulers of the Nile. Now, these pharaohs weren't just any leaders, they were gods on earth. At least that's what they believed. And their power was so great that even death couldn't stop them. You see, when a pharaoh died, instead of thinking they were, going to some big sleep, they believed they would become a mummy and live forever, like totally undead and stuff. Now let's meet our main character, Akhenaten, one of those powerful pharaohs who decided he wanted to be more than just a normal guy. He wanted to live forever, so he went to the Royal Institute of Wisdom and asked for the secret to immortality. Now the teachers at this institute had studied ancient texts and rituals, and they had a plan. It involved magic and weird spells, and most importantly, blood. According to their texts, drinking someone's blood could transfer their life force and make you immortal. Now Akhenaten wasn't exactly thrilled about drinking blood, but he was pretty thirsty for that everlasting life, so he agreed to try it out. After performing some super-secret rituals, Akhenaten drank a special concoction made from animal blood, and whoa, bam, he felt amazing. He was stronger, faster, and according to him, he looked way hotter. He started doing this ritual every day and told everyone it was because he was trying to become closer to the sun, God Ra. But really, it was all about that sweet, sweet immortality. One day, King Tut's advisors got suspicious. Like, why does the king need to drink blood to get close to the sun? It doesn't make sense. Plus, people started to disappear around the kingdom, and they were all linked to the king somehow. So they told the pharaoh, "Yo, dude, maybe you should chill on the whole blood-drinking thing," but Akhenaten wasn't having it. He didn't want to hear anything bad about his magical elixir. Then, the unthinkable happened. One day during the blood-drinking ritual, someone walked in, none other than King Tut's advisor. He was like, "What the actual heck is going on here?" And then he saw the king covered in blood, looking all intense. Then he saw the missing people, and everything just clicked. The advisor realized what Akhenaten was up to and tried to stop him. But guess what? The blood ritual gave Akhenaten some serious powers. He fought off the advisor and banished him from the kingdom. So now Akhenaten is like the vampire king, ruling over Egypt with his blood-drinking ways. And people are still going missing, all thanks to his thirst for immortality. The end. Okay, maybe not quite yet. Fast forward a bit, and Egypt has a new ruler, Ramesses II. He's a new blood in the game, and he wants to put his own stamp on things. But guess who's still hanging around? Yep, it's Akhenaten. Even though he lost his power, he's still causing trouble. He's like the Nosferatu of the Nile. Here's the deal. Akhenaten might have lost the battle, but he won the war. His blood-drinking ways didn't just make him immortal, it also turned him into a supernatural being with powers beyond anyone's wildest dreams. He can control the shadows, hide in plain sight, and he's got a charm that can make people do whatever he wants. But there's a catch. To use these powers, he needs fresh blood. And unfortunately, people keep disappearing all over the kingdom. Some say it's Akhenaten, but no one can prove it. He's like a ghost haunting the land of the living. Enter Ramesses II, the new kid on the block who's heard all the scary stories about Akhenaten. But he doesn't believe in ghosts or vampires or any of that spooky stuff. That is, until he starts seeing things with his own two eyes. People are scared to speak out, but Ramses is determined to find the truth. He's like Sherlock Holmes meets Indiana Jones. The trail of the missing persons leads him to an old abandoned temple where people go to sacrifice animals to the gods. But Ramses knows there's something more going on here. He can feel it in his bones. As he explores the temple, he finds clues left behind by Akhenaten, and it becomes clear that his blood-drinking days are far from over. In fact, Akhenaten has been using the temple as a secret lair, preying on the villagers and stealing their life force. But Ramses is on to him. He's not going to let this blood-sucking pharaoh get away with his evil deeds. As the story unfolds, Ramses uncovers the truth about Akhenaten's powers and the curse that comes with them. The stakes are high as he tries to stop Akhenaten and bring peace back to the kingdom. But will he succeed, or will he become another victim of the vampire pharaoh's curse? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, pause the action for a sec. We all know the drill. If you're loving this story and you want more epic tales of monsters and myths, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way you'll be first in line to get all the juicy details when new episodes drop. Also, show us some love and tap that thumbs up button. Every like fuels our fire and inspires us to bring even more awesome content your way. And hey, if you're feeling extra inspired yourself, why not write a review, share your thoughts, and help others discover the awesomeness that is Myth and Monsters. And now, back to the show. Akhenaten, hiding in the shadows of the abandoned temple, feels the heat of Ramesses' pursuit closing in on him, but fear is a foreign emotion to him now. After all, he is the vampire pharaoh. As he surveys his lair, he sees the remnants of his past victims, each holding a piece of their life force that has sustained him for so long, but he senses that soon he may need a stronger source of power. Meanwhile, Ramesses stands at the entrance of the temple, feeling the darkness emanating from within. He knows what he must do. As he ventures deeper into the temple, he finds cryptic messages carved into the walls, warnings from Akhenaten that foretell the consequences of his intrusion. But Ramses is undeterred. Suddenly, Akhenaten appears before him, cloaked in shadow and wielding powers that both fascinate and terrify Ramesses. The two pharaohs face off, their opposing wills clashing in a battle of good versus evil. Will Ramesses prevail, or will he succumb to Akhenaten's sinister allure? As the story reaches its climax, Ramses realizes that defeating Akhenaten won't be easy. He needs to understand the vampire pharaoh's powers and weaknesses if he wants to win. With the help of an enigmatic guide, Ramses learns about the ancient rituals and artifacts related to Akhenaten's immortality. The race against time begins. But in a shocking twist, Ramses discovers a surprising connection between himself and Akhenaten. The revelation shakes him to his core and forces him to confront his own beliefs and motivations. The final confrontation between Ramses and Akhenaten becomes a battle not just of physical strength, but also of ideologies and personal demons. In the end, the fate of Egypt hangs in the balance. Akhenaten, the vampire pharaoh, raises an army of the undead, plunging the kingdom into chaos. Only Ramses can stop him. Can he rise to the challenge and save his people from eternal darkness? Or will Akhenaten's thirst for blood and immortality consume everything in its path? Find out next time. Okay, that's all for tonight, but don't worry, we'll pick things up right where we left off next time. Until then, here's a sneak peek at next week's episode. Don't forget to stay tuned. See you later. Wait, before you go, if you've made it this far, you gotta check out these other videos. They're seriously awesome. Click here to dive into more terrifying tales and mythical beasts. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.